sure.
For sure. And then Alma Basurdo says, this is the question. This is the question right here. She's asking, do you think Walt Disney would be upset with how Disneyland is today? I'll kick this off and then I'll go to Dre and then we'll go down to George. Do I think he would be upset with how Disneyland is today? The general feeling I get would be no, because what was Walt Disney's prime goal when it comes to Disneyland? An ever-changing sandbox to play in, right? He didn't want it to be a museum. He didn't want it. Look, a lot of fans, they don't like change, but the fact of the matter is Walt Disney did not want this place to stagnate. He didn't want it to be a museum. He wanted it to change. And look, that doesn't mean you're going to love every single change. There are going to be things at the park when they change them that you might not like, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, I think he would be happy with how much it has changed. I think Disneyland in particular has actually done a really good job at that balance of the nostalgia and kind of bringing in the new. If you look at old video, if you go to Disney Plus and watch like the Disneyland story and things like that, you'd be surprised at how much of Disneyland still looks the same. There's a lot of the area of the park that does look the same, but there's enough there now that's so different. You know, you have Galaxy's Edge and the way Tomorrowland looks and the way there's so many things there now, Toontown or what have you. So, yeah, I think overall he would be happy. I like Dre mentioned, he probably would have hated the partner statue.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have wanted to be, but hey, look, Walt kind of did similar things with his heroes, didn't he? I mean, he built an entire attraction to Abe Lincoln.
That's true. That is true.
Walt, you're our hero. So we're going to build a statue of you, just like you built a whole attraction for Abraham Lincoln, right? It's the same kind of idea as like, hey, look, you know what? You're our hero, Walt. You know, we respect and enjoy your work, and the statue is something to kind of have your memory live on, I think.
Now, OG, you can go ahead and explain it to Walt. I don't think it'll pass the muster, but while you're there, you can also explain to him why that People Mover track is not occupied right now and just sitting there. Yeah,
yeah, that one I wouldn't want. If Walt ever came back, I wouldn't want to be in the room and have to tell him about that one. I wouldn't want. Yeah, that's inexcusable.
Let's just put it of what Walt always said: if it did or did not, that will not work.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Theme park casual over here. Change is good, but Court of Angels, losing Court of Angels and Disney Gallery stinks. Yeah, it does. Yeah, those kind of things I don't think he would be too pleased about. But it kind of depends. Walt was so into so many different things. I think he would like the ambition of some works, but maybe not like I think about like Jungle Cruise and Indiana Jones, and it's like, man, he didn't want Haunted Mansion to look decrepit and to look aged and so forth. Like, how would he think of those kind of things being in the park? These things that were, that were kind of, they're supposed to be aged in that way to make them feel kind of otherworldly and kind of put you at another place in time altogether. What would he think about those? I'm not sure.
Yeah. What do you think, George? What would, to answer Alma's question, do you think Walt Disney would be upset with how Disneyland is today?
Kind of going off what you were saying, OG, I think as far as the progression of the parks themselves and how they're updated and expanded, I think, again, it's not even a guess or a question. That's what he wanted. He wanted things to grow. He wanted things to expand as technology became, a better part of, that's what Epcot was supposed to be, he was ahead of his time. So before the future could catch up with Walt Disney, he was already ahead of the future. So that's what he wanted. As I had mentioned briefly earlier, I think it's, more of an operations issue, I think, that Walt would have a problem with as far as how the parks are being run, on a day-to-day schedule. And because he always put his fans and his guests first. Right. And I think that it's starting to kind of feel like we're being kind of put, we're in the dust here, so it's like we got to, bring it back up to what Walt wanted, because again, even though this is a corporate company, it's still based off of the history and the philosophy of the man who founded the company.
Well, yeah, and it feels kind of like when it comes to like these a la carte attractions with Genie Plus and what have you, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of kind of like almost like regressing, right? Because this feels very akin to what when the parks opened with the ticket books. Not the same, not the same exactly, but I feel like we've already moved past that era of like a la carte attractions and like, you know, paying for individual attractions or transportation or what have you. And now we're kind of going back to that. I feel like it is kind of like a regressive thing. They're not moving forward. It's more like kind of, you know,
it is kind of a regressive thing, and it's looking to your competition, seeing what they do and implementing those same policies just because they do it. It's like, or at least, you know, you can get away with it because they do it too. It's like, come on, that's bad reasoning. Walt never looked behind. He always looked forward. He always looked at improving the guest experience. And honestly, back in the day with ticket books, it was the way to maintain the quality of some of those attractions.
right.
You know, the way they could. We're now looking at an era where it's like you're, you know, $15 for this attraction, that attraction, on top of the already inflated price of entry, on top of the already inflated price of parking and merch and food and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Alma, so much for that question. That was a phenomenal question.